Hey guys, how's it going? Hanging Hunt Outdoors here. My name's Dimitri.
And I'm Al. And today's video, I have a new sight that's going to go on my bow. It's an Axcel Landslyde, but it's the fixed mount. These do come either for a lefty or righty, but usually they come packaged as a righty, which I think this one does come as a righty. And I'm a lefty, so as a lefty, I usually have to change and set things up a little differently. So in this video, I'm going to switch it over to my son Dimitri here, and he's actually going to go ahead and show you how it's done, because there's probably no videos out there on how you switch over from a lefty to a righty.
Yeah, so he got this on Amazon, and I believe it only came in the righty version, as you can see here. But these things are completely ambidextrous, so they can be flipped around left and right, and whichever way you guys want to shoot them. So let's get you closer on the bench here, and I'll break this thing open and show you guys how to flip them around. Alright guys, so for starters, one thing that I do want to mention is that if you're going to get this sight as a righty and switch it over to a lefty, you guys are definitely going to need to invest in a Hamskea third axis leveling tool. So any type of third axis leveling tool from Hamskea you guys are going to need to invest in, because when you adjust this sight and flip it all around, you are going to throw off the first, second, and third axis. And honestly, whether it's a righty or a lefty, you're going to need to adjust it anyway on your bow. This right here is the Hamskea Easy Third Axis Leveling Tool. It's pretty cool. It clamps onto your bow, and you're also going to need a bow vise to get everything all set up and level. I just want to mention that before you go and flip it around. And even if you don't flip it around, you probably should still set this up and make sure everything is level on your bow. So we can zoom out here. I just wanted to briefly mention that because it is pretty important that you get your bows nice and level, because if not, you could get left to right variances when you slide your sight up and down. And I'll show you what I mean by that when we dig into this. Open this package up, and there's a little piece of tape covering our little hardware kit that they give us. So I'll take this out first. This is all of our metal sight tapes, and they actually supply you with every Allen key that you need to work on this thing, which is pretty cool. Usually, companies don't do that. You're kind of on your own for Allen keys, but they literally provide you with everything. So throw that off to the side, and then we got the actual sight here. And upon first inspection, this thing's actually really nice.
Don't be jealous.
I'm not even gonna lie. This thing is like, the way it feels and the way it's constructed, like that here. So you actually, the reason why this is considered a righty is because it has a righty scope. You can't go ahead and flip the scope upside down, because then the bubble is in the wrong location. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I'm lying. You can flip it around. Yeah.
It's an ambi setup.
It's completely ambidextrous, which is actually pretty nice. Yeah, he is going to be switching over. If you guys missed in the last couple of videos that we posted, we actually have an UltraView UV3 XL. So he is going to be running that, which is super cool. I'm getting one of these. I am totally getting one of these. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and dive into how you flip this thing over now. So for starters, just to get things out of the way, I'm actually going to take this little sight block off, just to make things easier for now. Alright guys, so now that you have that flipped around, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take this stop right here. This is a slide stop. It's called a, just like a stopper. And what that does is that when you go ahead and you slide this now, it's a dead stop. And you don't want that on the bottom, because this is converted to a lefty now. You don't want it on the bottom. You want to take this off and you want to put it up top here. Because this is going to be like your 20-yard stopping point. So when you go all the way up, it's going to dead stop, and it'll stop right at the 20-yard mark. boop, that's it. As soon as you feel it bottom out, and then it's done. All that's left to do. Alright guys, so really quick, this part actually got lost. We lost this part of the video. So this is Future Dimitri. I'm just going to quickly show you how to change the scope over to a lefty. So right now it's actually in the righty configuration. As you can see, it's here. Pin is where it should be, level is where it should be. This is what it has to look like to be in the righty configuration. Now, if you look at the scope rod here, there's actually markings on both sides of them. So you don't have to take and flip the scope rod in any which way, but you are going to have to take this pin out and flip it around, and I'll show you how to do that, and you are going to have to take this level off and flip it around, and we'll get to that right now. So what you're going to do is, first things first, I like to take the level and move it down. So if you look here, there's a little tiny screw on the bottom of the housing, and that's what actually holds the level in place. So if you take this and you just crack this little screw loose, and then I'm going to hold it back so that you guys can see the level fall, and I unscrew this, see how the level just pops out? And then you can take this screw out and you flip it around so that the screw hole, if you can see that, you make it so that it lines up with the little hole on the bottom of the scope housing right there. So it'll all line up, and you just take it and you plop it in place, and then there's like little grooves in the actual scope housing that will catch on the level itself and get it threaded down. And as you go, it will catch and it'll bring itself down, and then you just kind of give it just the tiniest little bit of snug, and that thing is good to go. That level is in there and in the right location now. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to unscrew the cap on the back here, and as you do this, the little cardboard piece on the back that protects the pin during shipment is going to pop out. Go ahead and pop that out. And then there's another ring that's on the bottom there. And then this pin now can actually get taken completely out, and the fiber and everything is all in one little piece. And then you take that and you flip it around, and there's going to be like little tiny pegs on the bottom of the pin. See that little tiny peg? Peg right here and a peg right here. And they're going to match up with little holes that are drilled out in the actual receiver. So they're going to go in that one and that one, and it's just going to line right up when you drop this down in there, and the holes line and the pin's good. And then you're going to keep it facing this direction, and you're going to drop the two little rubber or plastic rings down in there just to keep it all nice and secure. And you're going to keep holding it this way, and then you're going to screw the little shade, I guess you would call it, on the back here. You're going to screw it down until it's tight. You're going to make sure nothing moves while you do so, and everything looks good, nothing moved. And you tighten it down a little bit, and then boom, there you go. The scope is converted over to a lefty.
Alright guys, well that's how you set up a Axcel Landslyde, changing it over to your left hand shooters. So I know I wasn't much help in this video other than dropping a bunch of stuff, but next move would be to obviously mount it to the bow, and like I said, I'm possibly changing, or I am definitely changing over to an ultra view scope. So
like I was saying guys, we have it set up for the lefty, for a left-handed shooter now, but if you guys are planning to do the same, it is extremely critical that you level everything up and level it on your bow and make sure that everything is in the right plane and working how it's supposed to. This is how we set it up and move it over. See, I'm a righty, so I'm fucking holding it upside down. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's going to wrap up the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao, guys.
ciao.